9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation is brought to you by Alive, Burger King, Central Bank, the Cleveland Clinic, Commonwealth Bank, Epic Battery, Kelly's Home Center, Marco's Pizza, Nassau Cruise Ports, Pinder Tile, Printmasters, and Ron's Electric.
The Foundation. The Foundation. Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The Foundation live and in full effect on this beautiful, gorgeous day. This is the 4th day of June, 2025, Wednesday out here live and in full effect. I'm grateful to be in your company, grateful to jam it, and to kind of break it down with you today, talking about what we are, about where we are, and continue to be able to move in the direction that we're called to be moving in. I got to be able to shout out my good, decent people right off the top over at AFS Insurance. Agents and brokers, they get everything laid out for you. Make sure you go and check them out. They're located number 407 Blue Hill Road South. So you want to be able to go and check them out and see exactly what's what as it relates to being able to move towards your insurance. We're at the top of the motivation that you're insured to be on the government road. So you get out there and get yourself taken care of, guys. And don't just kind of confine yourself to those packages that we talk about all the time, but ask for some other packages. Give them a call at 341-1AFS. 341-1AFS. Listen, also I got to be able to let you guys know about Coco Plum Wellness. We talked about this, the hydration of your colon. You've been dehydrated for a long time. You don't know why your lips are chapped. You don't know why your eyes like that. You don't know why you're getting cramps. You're dehydrated. You believe that there, amidst all of the 98.7% liquor that you're drinking, as you dilute that with water, because, you know, I know you're all professionals, as you dilute that with water, you believe that this would equate to the necessary water needed to be able to take your body to where it got to go. You got to stop that. You got to be able to hydrate yourself. And if you've gotten to this point where you can't evacuate, you can't have a number two the way that you want, then maybe we have to look at your colon in terms of being able to ensure that that's hydrated the way that it should be, right? And if you're looking for that, you want to be able to do the hydrocolonic, right? And that's done with none other than Dr. Teresa Adley Smith. She can be able to take very good care of you. There are persons that are coming from family violence, they're coming from Grand Bahama, they're coming from Eleuthera, coming here to get themselves taken care of during this time. It's not cool to be in a casual conversation with a person who said, oh my God, my belly hurting, I got to run. And then you say, oh girl, I know the last time I gone. You need to stop. You need to know the last time you're gone. Unless you're, totally out of your mind. You want to be able to know exactly what's what. And to get that done and to be able to ensure that you could know the last time you've been able to have a proper patient and the alleviation that you seek, you got to give her a call at Coco Plum Wellness Bahamas. The number is 242-445-8111, 242-445-8111. You want to go down there and take care of yourself, man, and check yourself out in those particular areas and make sure that you're strong and make sure that you're in a good position, that you don't have to be cranky and groggy and moody. You could be able to get the evacuation that you're looking for. Give her a call, 242-445-8111 or www.cocoplumwellnessbahamas.com, cocoplumwellnessbahamas.com. She can be able to take good care of you in those areas. Got to shout out my good decent people over at Da Vinci Printing and Innovators. They got everything available for you. So you want to go down there and check them out and put yourself in the position where you can be able to not confine yourself. This is Father's Day coming up. Daddy likes sentimental stuff also, right? Daddy likes sentimental stuff. I see my kids still trying to be able to quietly see what I want and listen into to what Daddy wants. And my wife is asking me. I don't have no, I don't have no major request. I don't. Whatever petition I have, I just give it to the Father and then pray that those things come to pass. But I don't have no major desires and requests. I'm just grateful for where we are, right? But remember that Daddy's like a little sentimental stuff also. They like it. They like the fact that you've been thinking about them in these kind of an area. So I would say to you, go down to Da Vinci Printing Innovators and they can be able to take good care of you. Some of these old stuff, some of these when the baby was young and they got, the baby got, just drawing these particular things in first grade, second grade, third grade. And, but now, Daddy, I drew you, You should see how they draw it. You should see Mommy on the side, right? This is how the children view us. This is hilarious stuff. Daddy's like those sentimental stuff. And, Da Vinci Printing Innovators can be able to assist you at ensuring that you can capture those memories or kind of revive them if they've, something that's already happened and you want to be able to bring them back to the forefront. Go down to Da Vinci Printing Innovators. They can be able to take good care of you in that area as it relates to being able to capture those things or kind of revive those things that have been kind of, stuffed away for a little while. So you want to do that. You want to give them a call. They're located in the Village Road Shopping Plaza. And right there on Village Road, right on the side of Bank of the Bahamas, you can go down there at the Bank of the Bahamas. You can be able to see them and take good care. Or if you want to call them ahead, you can do that at 677-2922. 677-2922. Right? And last but definitely not least, I got to tell you about my good, decent people. None other than Art Development, Art Construction with Avery Lightbourne, who's talked to us about some success that he's had. He's going to be with us next week to be able to talk to us about that. But he's had significant success in terms of his evangelism, quote unquote. I say that lightly in jest. But his relentless pursuit of being able to make you aware of a wonderful product that's available in the rebar, right? And the fiber reinforcement polymers that they have available for the rebar. So you're going to find yourself in that kind of a position if you're thinking conservation, if you're thinking preservation, if you're thinking long-term, and you don't want to put yourself in this kind of a position where in a couple of years you could be able to see your thing, you can see the bell course cracking and whatnot. Give them a call. Find out more information about it. That is Art Development, Art Construction, MST Bar. And they can be able to assist you in those areas. Find yourself able to find out more about the conservation that exists in for the rebar and give them a call, 822-9527, 822-9527, 603-4506, 603-4506. Pick up your Guardian newspaper, all the information's in there. Prime Minister urges unity. Davis says that he asks Obie Ferguson to attend Labor Day parade. Prime Minister dismisses criticism about the Freedom of Information budget, and the government signs a $20 million contract with Rowdy Boys, right, for Long Island Road and Water Project. Congratulations to the Rowdy Boys. Congratulations to those particular persons. As we look into this, I hope all the absolute best with you guys, and I know that you're going to do well. And I'm happy for you guys. I really am. And I'm hoping that the government of the Bahamas recognize the importance of being able to do this. But I'm hoping that you see the trend here also. I'm hoping that you're not looking at this. And I know in our society, we're colorblind. And that's not to say that we don't see color. We're blinded to the opportunities that exist externally because we're wrapped up in the color. And so you look at this, many people, if they haven't done so already, I know that they're eager and waiting to kind of do so. Many people will look at these things, these issues and incidents and infractions or these examples of what's happening in society and seek to segregate. They seek to inject their posture, their conditioning, their thinking that says, only because these boys white, only because they Conky Joe, my God, if that was in Baintown, you'll never get that. And you neglect the fact that you don't identify what's on the other side of the track. You do. You don't. You don't. I know you don't ever like me to talk like this. I can't believe he said, yes, it's true. It's true. You look at this, you look at the paper, and a picture says 1,000 words. And so you're wrapped in emotions as these words swirl in your head. And you tap into a time and an era that is a bygone era in this country. This segregation doesn't exist. This segregation doesn't exist. No. But you neglect to take note that these people are unified. Excuse me. Anytime you hear a pluralized version of a grouping, you know that there is, excuse me, this is the Bay Street Boys, the Sunshine Boys. The only one who doesn't have that level of unity that we expect is the Valley. I just messing with you. But when you hear the idea that there is a collective, boys, and they're not afraid to put this sort of a thing at the forefront. They're letting you know we are boys, collectively unified, understanding our responsibility and moving towards this particular thing. I'm happy for them. This has nothing to do with the optics of this picture. This has nothing to do with the idea of segregation that existed before. This has nothing to do with colorism and the segregation that exists in those areas. This is, and even on the eve, as we're about to step into Labor Day, this is a representation of what unity can bring for you. Can I say that? This is a representation of what unity can do and bring for you. Multi-million dollars in our communities. Yeah, and so these rowdy boys will now spend money in their communities, be circulated among themselves. The money will be circulated where there is deprivation in certain areas. The money will be circulated to be able to expand different businesses and find other opportunities to be able to expand those businesses. This is the representation that we would have been coming out of Long Island, coming out of Spanish Wells, coming out of Abaco, coming out of the centers where the quote-unquote Conky Joes reside. You may see segregation, I see unity, and an overarching objective for legacy to retain in this space. I don't know how you look at these things. But we don't have a collective unit that we could say the Over the Hill Boys. No. The Sunshine Boys look at the Bay Street Boys template, utilize that template, apply that template, and they still exist today. But if everybody want to be the chief and nobody want to be the Indian, we find ourselves in the position where there is a standoff socially. This is what's happening. And so I just want to be able to commend them. I guess we could be able to have further conversations about that. I want to clap up for you guys and say that you're doing a wonderful job. I also want to be able to clap up for the government to be able to utilize them and identify them after we put you to so much work trying to figure out who can touch this little piece of money that's moving through the community. You did well. You did well. I want to say that to the PLP. You've done well as it relates to being able to identify persons in the community and truly empower them. This isn't just sort of a platitude. This isn't just a gesture. You know what I mean? Just here and the proverbial crumbs. You afforded them an opportunity, and that's a wonderful thing, all right? And so we're hoping that you, to the potential $100 million that's coming down for Pinewood, right? To any other roadworks, any other projects, developments, any other constructions. I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of that as we go up to the next general election and move towards that. This government has to be able to show itself being able to put boots on the ground, right? And ensuring that things are taken care of in those particular areas, right? So make sure you do that. Make sure you can be able to move in those areas and make some things happen. Expand, expand, expand. Continue to be able to do that, and you're on the right track to be able to make some things happen. Guys, I want you joining me in conversation today. The U.S. Restricts visas for Central American officials over Cuban medical program. This is heavy stuff. America has taken on a very strong position. I don't know how your children can do when it comes to going back to school, or those children who have aspirations to go to school this summer. But I'm seeing that the government of the Bahamas put some stuff out. And more specifically, I saw that the Ministry of Health has put an opportunity out for you to be able to get subventions and scholarships with them once you take up these particular courses. So you want to reach out to the Ministry of Health, reach out to all these particular entities and find out how you can get a scholarship to go to, I think what I saw was University of the West Indies and University of Bahamas, right? How can you get a scholarship? And also I saw BTVI. How can you get a scholarship to continue your education and find yourself in a position that you can be able to grow? So go down there, check those particular things out, get yourself prepared, and take a step towards your future. I want to be able to do that. And I want you to join me in conversation, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere for the family of islands, 242-300. 5720. You can hit me up 422-4796. Let me take this quick commercial break, guys, and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
The Whopper with cheese at Burger King Nassau has never tasted so good. It's made with 100% flame grilled beef that's juicier, topped with fresh ingredients as usual, and even fluffier buns. Get a regular Whopper with cheese combo for only $9, including that, and enjoy a Whopper that's bigger, better, and tastier. The only place to get your Whopper with cheese combo is at Burger King Nassau, where it's grill time anytime.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Please, por favor, forgive me if you hear your voice sounding a little stuffy today. I've been trying to be able to get rid of this thing, I guess, I don't know. I've been inconsistent. I just got the vitamins and whatnot, the Halib Orange and whatnot. I just got those. Got some D3 and K2, B12 and so forth and so on. So I just purchased those things. And it's just because of the kids. Please forgive me, right? So we can be able to do this. I want you guys to join me in conversation today. I have a theory that I'd like you to be able to get in. I don't want to talk about these kind of theoretical concepts and whatnot. I have made a decision, and I have, these guys have reached out to me, political organizations, and talked about the potential of being able to come on the show and have conversations. So we did the formality and what was supposed to be done. And I haven't seen, I expect after June 6th, we'll see them. So I've extended an opportunity to both organizations, the FNM and the PLP, to be able to sit with us, and you'll see them commandeer a particular time on the show, right? And then we're hoping to see whether or not they'll do something with us long term, so we don't have to hear from the horse fly, but we can hear directly from the horse's mouth about what's happening. I think In the era, the age, the dispensation that we're in right now, social media has a way of being able to carry a story, and AI could be able to narrate this story to make you feel like this thing is real. And it's not. We've seen some stuff coming out of on social media about our news, about Sebastian, about some other persons, and the story was structured in such a way that it felt real. But if you know the little, inconsistencies that exist, you'd realize that something's wrong here. And so instead of being able to go through that, especially during a time that we're moving towards a general election, I'd like to be able to cut through all the red tape, cut through the muck and mire, cut through whether or not you sanction these particular persons to be able to put out this salacious foolishness, whether or not this is one of your war rooms that put out these particular things, whether or not this was designed. Come sit with me. Yeah, let's cut all that foolishness out and let's have a very clear conversation with transparency. And that is sort of the safe haven, the space that I want to be able to create. Now, this space will not come without scrutiny. I just got to be honest with you. If we're going to be having a clear conversation about growth and development in the country, I don't want to sit here almost like the king of Atlantis, right? Like when I hold my scepter and I say, levy judgment on people. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. I want to be able to talk with clarity. I think that the country has gone through enough of the rhythm of how we thought politics should have been done. We've gone through enough of that. We have gone through enough of this sort of an idea that we have to use a little vinegar with our honey to be able to get that sweet and sour and that kind of a savory flavor. There's sort of an idea of being able to put the salt and the sweet together and believing that can be able to lend us to savory. No, it's led us to hypertension. That's what it's led us to, political hypertension. High blood. And we can't take this. It's led us to that. You're too heavy on the salt sometimes. You're too heavy on the sweet sometimes. So you're battling with two significant political diseases, and the country is having to be able to carry the weight of those tribulations around. Yeah, there has to be a space that I can be honest with you. That's all I want the foundation to be. That's my idea. My friend called me, cussed me out, and he said, I talk too much. Talk about my family, talk about this and that. Listen, I designed this like this. Okay? I designed this. For the years that I've been on, I've trial and error, what I think could work, what I don't think can work. I don't want to be salacious. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to be able to inspire you, to inform you, to empower you with information that I have. And so I've designed this in a way that I believe, like Mary Poppins, I can be able to coat this with the proverbial sugar, something that's familiar, something that you're used to. I can give you that, and the medicine could be able to be wrapped in that, and I can infuse that in there, and you could be able to absorb it accordingly. So I tell you a little story about my life. I tell you a little story that I've been going through. I tell you something to be able to break the ice. All this is icebreakers. I think people take this too far. All this is an icebreaker at the forefront, and then we get to the meat, and then at the end, we get to the inspiration, the information, and the desire for transformation. That's the design of my show. That's the design of the show. And you fighting my guts out. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. But let's go. And so any political organization, individuals, groupings, whoever comes and sits with me, I'd like to be able to have a preamble out there where the expectations are. This may not be something that you're used to in the world of politics. This may not be that kind of genuflection that you have when you go to other spaces from different people. Yeah, this may not be that. This may not be this network. This may not be that. When you come here, I want to have a transparent conversation with you, not about information that's being able to pop up on social media, about, the smoke what persons are saying about you and these allegations levied against you. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about factual, actual things, productivity, non-productivity, how we measure those particular things, whether or not you measure up to those things that we've laid out, what the expectations of your constituents are, what you have done, and whether or not there's a gap that exists between what the expectations are in your constituency and what you've done in these particular areas. That's a simple conversation. You may be afraid of it. You may feel like, okay, Howard, no. This was supposed to be lobbed to me. Why you ain't lob it? This ain't softball, baby. It's fast pitch, hard, honest. And the reason we do it like that is because I would like to measure your consistency. I'd like to measure whether or not you're committed to these things. I'd like to, and I design it in a particular way to throw you off course. So by the times I ask you a question, whether or not this question, if it ain't on the paper, if you're genuine in the answer that you gave us before. I ain't trying to swing you or trick you. The Bahamian people have been tricked for years. For years. And I don't know whether or not I could be able to identify a year that we believe that this was the tricking year. But if it was a year that the Bahamian people let their guards down and they continue to be in 97. Yeah, because they would have already made up their mind to get rid of the PLP in 1992. They did that. And the people as a collective, individually and their small groupings, have already said, we will not allow a government to go back in again and again. We will not repeat what the PLP has done for 25 years. But in 1997, with transparency, with honesty, and with receipts, Hubert Ingram came to the forefront, and the Bahamian people let their guards down. After they let their guards down, Hubert Ingram won again. In 2002, win, lose, or draw, no matter what he did or didn't do, the Bahamian people decided that that was it. And we've been in that cycle ever since. It's a sad thing to see us in this space. But I want to let you know, I want you guys to come and sit with me, whether FNM, whether PLP, whether COI. But don't jive us, man. Don't jive us. I'd prefer you not to sit with me at all. If you think you could come here and ask me, Howard, what are we talking about? Can you send me all the questions? Howard, don't throw me up for a look now. Don't make me look bad. I ain't into that. I'm not here to kind of expose you unless you have some ulterior motives. That's it. And I'm not here designing this thing to expose you. You do that to yourself. But I need to have a transparent conversation with you to ask whether or not you're truly concerned about change in our country. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen agitation. We haven't seen activism. We haven't seen these things. But we see Sabas coming out to the forefront asking for more money for y'all. We haven't seen y'all done anything. You haven't accounted for the $100,000 that you have in your account right now. You haven't accounted for those particular things. You never open. You just get $1,500 unless you get more for that every month. You never open up your constituency office. You never do these particular things. You have your cousin in there working, you just break him off every other something, but the government gives you money for that every month. And so the inconsistencies, there is a problem. You're not a good steward with the little that you have, but yet you're setting those particular persons as forerunners to go and speak on your behalf, because that's how this feels like. With an expectation to receive more. Butler, you ain't do what you're supposed to do with the last piece. But you want me to give you more. This is bananas. We don't have the time for it. We are in a season, especially in the height of political season. Please believe I'm not talking no garbage to nobody. Now, I don't need to talk to you. That's fine. I don't need to talk to you. But my God, you don't want me talking about you. And whatever in the paper, based upon the fact that you're a public servant in those particular capacities, and we have a track record in paper, in print, and contrast, you may not like it. I'd prefer you to come and sit with me. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the Family of Islands, 242-300-5720. Quick break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
Foundation.
Father's Day is just around the corner, and there's no better place to find the perfect gift than Kelly's House and Home. Shower your dad with a gift from Kelly's House and Home's Father's Day sale Friday, June 6th through Saturday, June 14th. Save 20% off selected tool sets, luggage, and fishing, diving, and camping gear, except on net items. Shop Kelly's House and Home on Saturday, June 14th, and you could win a fabulous gift basket for Dad. Visit our Facebook page for more information. Kelly's House and Home's Father's Day sale, June 6th through 14th. Happy Father's Day, all with love from Kelly's House and Home.
Calling all beer lovers. Get ready for Portside Pints. Join us on Saturday, June the 21st from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Nassau Cruise Port to sample beer, amazing Bahamian food. $10 general admission includes a free Portside Pints beer mug, or take it up a notch and check out our exclusive VIP lounge. That's the Portside Pints Beer Festival, June 21st at Nassau Cruise Port. Don't miss it. Visit Facebook or Instagram for details.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello. This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The lines are wide open. Give me a call right now. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Howard Grant.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's happening, my friend?
I live in giving God praise.
I hear you were talking about the constituents, the members of Parliament collecting all of this money and what's not and what's up. Headquarters being closed and nothing being done. But that's not we're not having that problem in Bamboo Town. A week after the 2021 general election, the headquarters was open. Up to the small one.
Mm-hmm.
Our member of Parliament had done some massive cleaning up around here. I'm talking about this haven't been cleaned from Tennyson Bell's time like this. And I ain't talking about pushing the dirt back. I talking about taking the dirt out. I ain't talking about pushing the dirt back.
So Renwood ain't do nothing.
I'm talking about cleaning out.
So you telling me Renwood ain't never clean up the place?
Never. Somebody who supported them could call in. And the only place Renwood was clean is that piece of property in the back of the Chinese.
So you just say he ain't never, and now you're saying only thing. Hold on now. I don't know what's going on.
And I can tell you why he used to clean it. Because that is where he used to have his Christmas party.
Okay.
With his bouncing castles and stuff in the back of his headquarters on East Street South.
Mm-hmm.
And until time for Christmas party again, I grow back up.
Mm.
Okay? Now, somebody maybe could put their hand on something that Mr. Weld said. I won't say he never did nothing because...
Well, he had to do something. He went twice.
He do something, and he went twice.
Okay.
Now, you have to remember now, in 2 times that Mr. Rambert Wells won in Bamboo Town, he won on a wave.
No.
Rambert Wells has never won a seat for the PLP and the FNM won the election. Or he never won a seat for the FNM and the PLP won the election. Never.
Okay, hold on. He won with the PLP on the wave.
Yes, and he won with the FNM on the wave.
He went over and he won with the FNM.
On the wave.
Okay, go ahead.
If you had gone in there for the FNM, you would have been.
Stop it.
I'm telling you.
If you why you ain't gone? You could have been too.
No. I is the kingmaker. I don't want to be the king. I make the king.
Okay, go ahead.
But listen to me. I want you to read this thing for me quickly. What they said, the member of Parliament for Sutton Shores was saying in the papers this morning.
Oh, Leroy Major.
Yeah.
Now, that they sent around for the Tribune, and
something about the flooding in Sutton Shores.
No, I think that there was an indifference. I texted Leroy Major today and asked him whether or not he'd like to come and sit with me. He said,
bring him.
He said that he'll get back to me and tell me the best time.
Tell him the people begging for him to come. I hear he's making some noise about they giving Mars, the Honorable Mars rewarded his money for Pinewood.
I can't say that. I don't have the Tribune. I have to get the Tribune.
I never know if Sutton Shores used a flood yet.
No, I can get the Tribune. I saw it in the Tribune because I think they put the wrong picture in the Tribune for Leroy Major. I think they put another person.
It's two Leroy Majors, you know.
Yeah, I know. I think they put the second one.
And when I voted in 2017, 2021. I voted for the wrong Leroy Major.
But it's only one Leroy Major on the ticket.
But Leroy Major, the ambassador, they have an ambassador.
Yeah, but I'm trying to
Leroy
figure
Major
out,
too.
you didn't know who was running? You just see Leroy
because
Major?
the man was in, don't forget I have a sight impairment. The man was in Marathon voice. The ambassador was trying to get the nomination in Marathon.
Okay.
And I thought they would bring him into Sutton Shores. That's why I voted for him. I was living in Sutton Shores.
Okay.
That is why I voted, till I find out who I voted for.
When we go to a break, I can go get the Tribune.
But listen to me, let me
and
tell
read
you
that
this
story
before
for
you break up.
Okay, go ahead.
You remember when you used to go to church in your Room church and your mommy gave you that luck? You know you can get beaten when you go home.
Yeah.
But Leroy Major, no, he ain't getting no more nomination. That's why he started to rally up and make noise.
Really?
He out.
Really?
He out. You ever see them turkey when they done? He's done.
Wow. Well, I can give him an opportunity to be able to talk about it when he
And
gets
I
to the...
want him to come on, so I will tell him what I will do if again.
Mm.
And I'll keep that one for now.
I already
tell him what I will
I already getting text that pushing back against some things that's happening in Bamboo Town. We ain't gonna fight you, but we can talk about it.
let's talk about it.
Don't
Bamboo
talk.
Town is on the move.
We can
Too
talk
straight,
about it
Bamboo Town.
when we get back from
Too
news.
straight.
When we get back from news, we can have this kind of a conversation.
Yeah.
All right. We in politics time, and if you got thin skin, and you're light in your head, this is for you. I might as well tell you. If you got thin skin and you're afraid of criticisms, sometimes constructive, sometimes destructive, because some people don't know how to measure, don't know how to gauge. They know that there's an indifference that exists between you and them, between you and what their expectations of you were. There is a gap, a gulf that exists between them. And so while people trying to be able to get to you, people may see a different thing. But you got to have some thick skin to be able to deal with this, because we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're getting down to a position where persons will be able to see you for just who you are. So I want to say that, and I want to be able to reiterate that this space is a space of truth, it's a space of transparency, and it's a space that I wish and desire and hope that you would come clean. And if you don't come clean when you're sitting with me, because trust me, I don't need to talk to you. It's a bunch of y'all. I ain't gonna talk to all of y'all. It's just not gonna happen. I know that some of you are not interested in sitting with me. I know that some of you won't ever get a chance to be able to come around and sit with me. I won't be able to muster what it takes to come and sit with me. Okay, what I mean financially and otherwise. Not a bad way. It's fine. I'm not gonna fight you. But I know that I won't be able to get to everyone. However, we're talking about your constituency. We got time, baby. We got time. And we're going to chop those things down the same way that we did the Dissecting Leadership Conference, right? We're going to identify those things, and I will be choosing. I ain't nobody, nothing to talk about, but I'm hoping that you trust my voice enough to identify the level of conviction that exists in these particular persons. I will be choosing, given the time after we've gotten to the space of ratification, after we've heard the first round of the candidate's position in those particular constituencies and what our expectations are, I will be choosing who I believe will be best suited for that particular constituency. Not saying that you have to do that or have to vote in that direction, but I am saying that we're looking at persons who are objective, who are mindful, who are open, and we're not afraid to say, we believe this independent person will be the best person. We believe this FNM person will be the best person in the constituency. Out of everyone who's been presented, we believe this PLP person should be able to retain this seat because they'll be the best person. We've looked at the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years in this constituency. This person has done well. And I'd like you guys to be able to join me on that journey, join me on that course as we continue to be able to move forward and make these particular things happen. Let me take a commercial break, guys, get to news, and be right back after this.
Foundation. The foundation. 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 The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, a sitting Progressive Liberal Party member of Parliament, is openly accusing his party of sidelining backbenchers, warning the cabinet ministers are using public resources for political gain while neglecting equitable representation across constituencies. It says that Southern Shores Member of Parliament Leroy Major, in a rare act of dissent, my God, said in a rare act, right? Yeah, we ever hardly see this, right? Said that he's unsure whether the PLP will renominate him, and said there is growing internal frustration among MPs not seated at the cabinet table. There's got to be fair play to the backbenchers whose voices are not heard around the table. And this is why I need to talk with you, Mr. Major, member of Parliament. I need to talk to you about this because you can't have the insight, articulation, wherewithal after the fact. You have already taken the job. You have already taken the permanent secretary's position. The parliamentary's rep, right? Parliamentary secretary's position. You've already taken these positions that you sit in the office of the Prime Minister, that you sit under a particular division, and you have now, just like everyone else, have a bit to speak with clarity to the position of the Prime Minister. Now, this don't come with stipulations. This don't tell you as a backbencher that you dare not speak against your party. No, they give you the job, you take the job, you celebrate the job, you get your $28,000. Praise God for that. You get whatever subvention and stipends that they give you for that particular position. I don't know what it is. I think it's like 30-some thousand, maybe $40-some thousand. I'm not sure, right? And you get your $100,000 for your constituency, and you shut up. That has been the nature of these things. That's why the story could be able to say, this is a rare thing that's happening, that you stand up and out. A rare attack of this act of dissent. This is rare. This is unfounded. That the people already give you the money, that your belly is already full, that you find yourself in this position, that you're content, that you've already taken care of some of the things that you want. The party has made a decision that they want to be able to separate themselves for you for whatever, whether or not it's local allegations, whether or not it's speculations, whether or not they don't believe that you could win. I don't know. The party has made the decision. Now, listen. You've come to the forefront despite speculations that exist on the ground and being able to speak as though you are sure. And after this, I'm sure you're sure. You are sure that you're not going to get the nomination. But you are responding to speculations that exist behind closed doors. No one made any pronouncements. The chairman didn't come to the forefront and say that we're not running you. None of these things happen. But this is what I tell you all, I told you all this. Parties do not let you go. No political party in this country, outside of what we've recently seen with the Free National Movement, no political parties in this country has let you go. I don't know. Historically, y'all could tell me otherwise. I know about Hubert Ingram and Perry Christie. This is what the stories are over the years. But what I've recognized and seen is that all the parties do is cut off your supply. But they cut off your supply, they stifle you, they don't assist the way that they're supposed to, especially if they're a government in power, and you feel so frustrated with clarity, you know that these fellas don't want me. So you get up and you leave. That's what I understand. That's what I see. Now, You've been placed in this position. The party did not say they can get rid of you. Remember we talked about there's 10 potential persons? Now, rest assured, your name was on that list, Mr. Major. Rest assured. Only because I knew this. Rest assured, your name was on the list. This list was collected, amalgamated information from across, and based upon what we're hearing, based upon the poll that we did, we have been able to devise and design this information to find out some things. And that's what we've done. I tell you in due time, I can tell you all the 10. But we've already seen Sylvanus take on this position and say that he's not going this time. He has to recoup himself. However, he will return as prime minister. We've already seen him say that. We've already seen McIntosh take on this kind of a position and indicate that he had some issues. We understand that, and he's gracefully bowing out. Okay. We've already seen Alfred Sayers take on the position to say that he's not going to be returning in that particular capacity. And by the way, I saw Alfred Sayers in China. This man looked youthful. He looks youthful. He looks good. You know what I mean? Like, the last time I would have seen that kind of a jubilance and a glow in the face is when, what's his name, Nygaard was at the top of his game and say that he was doing all these, alternative stuff. I'm not saying that that's what's happening here, but I'm saying I'm seeing a youthful look. And in the midst of this youthful look, he decided to be able to step back. Okay? So we've been, now you make 4. That's 40% accuracy of what we said. We're looking for the next 60%. We're looking for the next 60%. We've seen stories in the paper actually speak to us about the fact that Abaconians, and I think that this is poor on the Tribune's part. I think that this is poor. I agree with the Tribune that there is an appetite. The Tribune ain't saying this, but their actions are telling me something different. There is an appetite socially that's looking for that tabloid effect, that's looking for that grapevine effect. But as a national newspaper with tenure that you have and the strength that you have, I don't think these should be stories. I ain't getting your business. This is just me on my talk show. And I'm saying, as I see this story, spoke with clarity about the fact that the people of Abaco don't want John Pinder. That's bananas. That is bananas. The PLPs in Abaco don't want John Pinder. That is absolutely bananas. We don't know who has ulterior motives. We don't know if they were sent. We don't know whether or not these people even live in Abaco. How you could take these people's word like this and put it in the paper. That ain't for you. That ain't for you. That ain't for you. If this information comes, it should come from the chairman of the organization. There needs to be verifiable locations that we can all go to as some serious media persons to be able to now drag that information back and utilize it in the public spaces. Other than that, we're no different than the social media blogs that pop up all over the space. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back into this. So the information came to the forefront and say that the people of Abaco, the PLPs of Abaco don't want John Pinder. You skip a whole man who would have seen significant allegations levied against him after he found himself as Prime Minister of North Abaco. And you found yourself being able to go to the south to one of 2 white men in the PLP. My God, you're going to need them. In the PLP. Oh, no, 3. But I don't know whether or not we could count Clay 100% because, yeah. We look at this and we identify these particular things and stories coming out about these particular things. Come on, man, Don, talk to me. We can get to that 10, We can get to that 10. If we can get to it 100%, they can get very close to that 10. Because as the days dwindle, as we move towards June 6th, where the PLP would show the strength of their organization, listen, there is going to come some falling away. Talk to me. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300, 572-422-4796. I can take this caller, but when I'm done with the call, I need to be able to explain to you why I believe this is a good idea for the PLP. This is why the PLP needs to show their strength on June 6th. This ain't got nothing to do with unions or anything else. This is only optics. Anyway, let's take a telephone call. Call on the line, go ahead.
A pleasant good afternoon. How you doing today, Howard?
What's up, Anton? All is well?
Well, the song a lot better than yesterday.
Man, I feel so stuffy. It's amazing. I think it's just the cold and the hot, you know.
All right. And good afternoon to the nation.
Yeah.
Several points over your discussion I'd like to make quickly, Howard. Beginning with, let's start with the recent statement by Southern Shores Member of Parliament.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know why, in the Tribune's wisdom, and they're certainly a respected newspaper in the country,
Absolutely.
a provider of public information and news in the country, and I hold them in the highest regard as well. But I don't know why Leroy Major's pronouncements or his interview would have been categorized or classed as dissent. I disagree with that entirely. If you understand theoretically and practically as well what dissent really represents, right? I disagree with that. And that is what creates a salacious story, that term dissent. Right, Howard? You host a talk show in the country, a very popular talk show in the country that lots of people listen to, including politicians and leaders of the country, receive information from. Correct, Howard?
Right.
When you express a viewpoint and you express it from the sincerity of your heart, and sometimes based on your research, sometimes based on your experience,
right?
Do you consider that to be dissent?
No.
It's not dissent, Howard.
No.
It's you simply stating what you experience, what you feel, or what you see. All of which could be facts. Some could be subjective.
Now let's fix this, Anton, because this is how I do my thing. In my strategic position here, sitting at Guardian, knowing.
Speak up a little
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Turn up the microphone for me. In my strategic position, right? Sitting here at Guardian, we can do this today. So let's do this with clarity. Sitting here at Guardian, right? I understand the mechanisms that's behind me. I understand the neutrality that's behind me. I understand that there isn't a hand very quietly that you may not see that says Howard move in this direction or Howard move in that direction. I understand in this seat for 2 hours a day, every week, Howard Grant have autonomy. I know that.
Yes.
I know that.
What is that in there?
I know that. That's why I left ZNES.
As you always tell us.
I see people think I get fired. I left ZNES. You all need me to post my resignation, and I never gone back. They didn't ask me 9 times.
Right.
Excuse me. I'm going to be very clear.
Yes.
I never went back because I know I can get fired again.
Right.
No later than this morning. If I tell you a lie, I die. No later than this morning. Based upon some stories that's happening, somebody called me and say, boy, Howard, you look good for this. Boom, 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 over cross. So, right? I say, come on, stop talking foolishness. I got children. They need to eat. They are real children. They are not doll babies. I got to feed them food.
Yes.
I can't get fired. I need to go somewhere. Okay. So I sit in this space with autonomy, and even though I give you a preamble on my show.
I still have my other point.
Yeah, we can go with you. So even though I give you the preamble on my show that don't fight me, I know this is going to be an easy conversation. I know you all ain't want to talk like this. I can give you that preamble and still give you the information. I know that in my space. I know that. However, I also am not stupid. That if I sit in ZNES, and I start to be able to espouse a particular view against the government of the day, it ain't got to be FNM or PLP, It just got to be the government in. If I sit in that position and I espouse a particular viewpoint that goes contrary to what the government's pushing, to the conviction of the party and the administration, there is a very clear thing. It ain't matter what exists in my heart. It only exists what happens from a cultural standpoint and the tradition. This can be this can be hold on. This, if I take on a position contrary to the government, and despite my position in my heart, and I based upon the tradition, based upon our position, based upon our culture, you can view that in a space where perception is reality as dissent. It can be viewed as dissent because it goes contrary against the grain of what has happened all this time.
Bear in mind what you just said, though. Perception is considered reality in our space. In many
Well, let me fix it then.
But it's not.
Perception is reality in this space that we live in.
And that depends on
Anton, if you listen to me for 30 days and I'm on the radio for 20 days of 30 days of the month, if you listen to me for 20 days, between that time, I am an F&M one day, or Jesus used it. That's not the reality.
That's not the reality.
That's not the reality. But the issue.
So perception is reality based on who you're talking to, correct?
Okay, so go. I like it. Go.
If you're talking, pardon me?
Oh, I like what you're saying. Go ahead.
If you're talking to the thinkers of the country, if you're talking to the reasonable people of the country who can reason through, perception is not reality. What you present, if it's fact, it's fact. And it informs and it uplifts. And it helps persons to make informed decisions in their own lives.
Right.
Which is what you do on a daily basis.
Right.
20 days or 22 days out of every month.
Right.
Correct, Howard?
Right.
And so let me get back to Leroy. Paul Sack, or Minister of State, Leroy, right? In the office of the Prime Minister. He expressed a viewpoint. I don't know what the viewpoint is in detail, but based upon what you read, the little that I caught from what you read when I started to tune in, because I was tuning into the PM's communication, budget debate communication.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
What he expressed is true, right? When you are dispersing public funds, right? You cannot do it to the benefit of one over the other, except it deems that level of thinking or obligation. You now heard in your news update after your communication that you read from the Tribune. I heard in your news update that the Minister of Social Services, right, who's also the Member of Parliament for Pinewood constituency, expressed that while his constituency was singled out, there are 3 or 4 other constituencies that will also receive remediation work for roads and water drainage, inclusive of South Beach, Nassau Village, Bamboo Town, the Soldier Road area, etc. Seabreeze, right? That wasn't expressed when the first communication was brought about, right, Howard? And so based upon the first communication, Leroy Major, he showed some testicular fortitude, and he spoke up for his constituency.
Well,
that is what we need in the cabinet.
The last time we saw somebody show testicular fortitude against their political organization, right after they left, joined another organization, and won their constituency back.
You're talking about the Reverend.
Okay, now let's be decent.
Now, let me get on to the next point that I want to make, Howard. Right? A part of the problem in our country, Howard, is people think that when you serve, you are subservient. It doesn't work that way, Howard. It doesn't work that way. Not in an effective democracy, which we are all in, right? And Leroy Major happens to serve as a member of Parliament. And so I expect for every member of Parliament to be able to respectfully voice what is happening and what is not happening in their constituency.
You just take me right back. You just take me right back to the beginning of our conversation. You and I always talk, and every time we talk, I like this conversation with you, but it's always based in theoretical. theoretically, constitutionally, and the idea that exists in these particular, theoretically, listen, Anton, these people try to kill you every day. Every time you open your mouth against the PLP, they call you a traitor. You ain't got nothing. He just mad. Jesus Christ, what happen every day. You understand?
Never mind. Hey, Howard.
Yeah?
Never mind, I was victimized because I took a stand.
Ain't nobody care about that. They care about you opening your mouth now.
Hey, Howard. Never mind, I was in the trenches doing the heavy lifting while they was kissing butt.
That's what. Politicians depend on the general population of the Bahamas to forget the work that you would have done before. Politicians depend upon that. Theoretically, you're supposed to retain this information and remember you got brains, but they depend on you to forget so they can come and woo you to death with a new lie.
Hey, Howard, we on the same page. Let me move to this next point for you.
Because I can cut you right now. I got to go to the commercial break. Go quickly.
Before you come without your flashlight. Anyway, Anton, I got to let you.
Go ahead, Anton, quickly, because I got a commercial break. Go ahead.
As it relates to the Progressive Liberal Party, right? And this goes again to Member of Parliament for Southern Shore. Not one of them, perhaps outside of the Prime Minister, seeks his rest assured based upon the pronouncement from the National Party chairman, who is also the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He said, everyone is starting from fresh. If that is to remain true.
This heavy what you're saying. This heavy what you're saying.
To be made a liar of.
This heavy what you're saying. I know some people can get fired.
None of them is safe in their seats. All of them have to go back.
Hold on.
And I would encourage the national chairman and the leader, right, to not just rely on the words of some of the persons who serve at the pleasure of or in the interest of the Member of Parliament. I would encourage them, the accomplishments that were made, and talk with the people wide and far throughout each constituency if it's really going to be true what is being said. Thank you for the opportunity.
I appreciate you, but I agree with a little bit of what he's saying, ladies and gentlemen. I can take this commercial break, but I can remind you that Perry Christie, former Prime Minister Perry Christie, was just in the PLP headquarters being able to speak to constituents, and he said to them in so many words, listen, man, we are all part of a team, and sometimes some people have to go, sometimes some people have to say, don't get upset and get, your underwear in a bunch, because you may be on the other side of these particular things. The party goes on and on and on. Quick break, guys, news, and quick break, and be right back after this.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
Great Commissions Ministries is God's storehouse. They have been caring for the poor, homeless, and hurting since 1987. You are invited to support their Stop and Drop program by dropping off some food items in their barrels and some cash in their bottles. You can donate an offering each month or pay your tithes on Fi or Sun Cash apps. Help them to shelter the homeless, feed the hungry, and spread the gospel of Christ. Volunteer your service and support the Live to Give program. Call Great Commission Ministries, God's Storehouse at 325-5801 for further information, or stop by the office on Wolf Road. Be blessed.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets, name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
living paycheck to paycheck, at Fidelity, we can help you take control of your money, build savings, and create a financial future you're proud of. And we'll do it free of charge. Transform your financial future with our coaching sessions today. Make that move. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
I'm back, guys. 323-623-2, 325-431-6, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family violence, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Continue to be able to talk about these things. I can tell you once, I said, bro, why? I don't know why you always allow Anton to twist facts for his party. But his account of what the MP said about the flood remediation work in Pinewood is totally incorrect. Anton's claim that the MP said that the other areas will also receive remediation work is a lie. Now, hold on. I didn't listen to the newscast, but I didn't listen to the newscast over the break. I was looking at the story and reading the story. But if he's saying that we have released a newscast that says that the current member of parliament for Pinewood, who was responding to the article, said even though the prime minister may have only mentioned the $100 million, elaborate on it, but he's saying in so many words, based upon what I'm understanding Anton saying, even though the $100 million would have been identified, allocated for the constituency of Pinewood, and let's keep in mind that this is over a course of time. It's phased out, $20 million up front, and then $50 million, and then $30 million disbursed. I think it's over the course of 36 months or so. They didn't give us the depth and detail to it, but how they phase it out, I think it's over the course of a few years, right? So we're seeing this particular administration being able to at least approach these things and do what they have to do. But the beginning of what I said, the Rowdy Boys get $20 million to be able to do something in conjunction with some other stuff that's being done in those areas. All right, so great. The government of the Bahamas signed an agreement with these particular groupings from the community. Excellent. I think it should be duplicated in any community that you're going to do infrastructural development. There should be a grouping that says, we want to help from this area also. All right, 323-623-2, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family of violence, 242-300. Let me see if we can say this. So it says, that's a lie. What I heard from the MP say in the Guardian Radio is that other areas will benefit from the work being done in Pinewood. There was no mention of work being done in other areas. I'll listen back to the newscast. We didn't get to go tit for tat for that. Let me take a telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Howard, how you doing?
Hi, good, my dear. What's happening?
All right, dear man.
Praise God.
I just want to express my opinion on what's taking place on Labor Day.
Okay.
As it relates to GUC on the Melinda Wilson and all.
Okay.
This is first, I hope she's listening, that I am disappointed. Okay, and I'm going to give my view as to why. I feel like once you would have known what the government intention is, okay, I would have never want to be a part of that because that don't even look like Labor Day. It wouldn't feel like Labor Day, and it doesn't emphasize what the Bahamian laborers would have, it won't have nothing to do with Labor Day. It's a disgrace to Sir Randall Fox. And me being a former shop steward for years, I would have never, ever, that would have been the first Labor Day I ever missed from Howard because it's just, you've been a government, you should have never want to take that day from the workers. I don't care how much you want to. And it's lodging your campaign. I don't care how you put it, that's what it is. you're lodging your campaign.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a competition for every constituency.
Yeah.
Who bring in the most persons? Probably you hear that?
Yeah.
You heard that, right?
Yeah, I
You have
believe
a
that. I
prize?
believe that.
Huh?
I believe that.
And I think it's so unfair to the workers in this country for you to just hijack their day. You know what I mean? That's the workers' day. That's the day when you come out and you show off and you show up. You know what I mean?
I like what
and
you
you
said.
come out and you that's your day. It's all about you. You get to tell the government what you like, what you're displeased with, and how well you've been treated or how bad you mistreated. And you just hijack the whole day, you know? I would have never, despite what Obi Ferguson said, I know what he has to do because he stand down and feel like they can stand up. You know what I mean? Because you remember the agreement that they signed, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all upset with him. So because now he's saying that he is not going to be a part of it, I think that's why they want to be a part of it. But it shouldn't have nothing to do. You still there, Howard?
I'm right here.
It shouldn't have nothing to do with Mr. Ferguson. It should, the fact is, he respect workers at least, you know what I mean? And he see there, and he said because he probably is so displeased about the progress, he's not going to be a part of it. And when they there on Friday, they ain't going to feel comfortable because it ain't about no workers that day. That's going to be about a bunch of disgusting people all over the world, all over the street, just celebrating, must be they think their victory. I am upset. That's all I have to say.
I appreciate you calling me, though. Thank you so much for that. I can be able to tell you some stuff that I told you before. I got the autonomy, I got the space. I can be able to tell you what I see. I could be wrong, but this is for the purposes of being able to say to you and to many, and for you to be able to engage in conversation. And I'd love you to do so. And if you want to do that, give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-425, Family of Islands, 242-300-5720. All right, so let's shoot straight. The PLP need to show up on Labor Day. They need to. They need to. They must. They must. They need to. They need to. They must. They must. They need to. And they're taking full advantage of the opportunity to be able to come together and launch their party. It was in poor taste. It was in absolute poor taste, but it was clear desperation. They cannot take the chance to believe that the PLPs would show up any other time. They need to commandeer the natural inclination to move. They need to. They need to. This is not solidarity. This is not commemoration. This is only a desperate plea to be able to show themselves unified and a significant body of people. They have advertised this almost 2 months in advance. Almost 2 months in advance. Beyond enforcement, they have now, based upon what you're saying, reached out to their constituencies and offered opportunities. This is no longer a position where we just drive in and bus in people. They don't have to do that. But they need to show 6,000, 15,000 people, because the optics of that, which will be shown all over the Bahamas, is an assured position that the PLP will be the next government of this Bahama land. The PLP, I keep telling y'all ain't listening to me. Y'all ain't listening to me. Every trick in this Acme bag, including the anvil, will be used for the next general election. Every single one. Everyone. Every single trick. The war room is on overload right now for the PLP. Right now. And the PLP is not concerned about whether or not the FNM is concerned. They're in this track and they're doing everything they can to shore up their victory. There has been a posture from leadership in the PLP that says that there are some people that will be left behind. As it relates to frontline politics. Yeah, you're going to be moved. Yeah. They called back Perry Christie to speak to a gathering of PLPs, to soften the blow with the charm that he has, to let you know that there are some modifications that will be made that has never been made before. The chairman, in his particular capacity and a sense of consistency and a stern position to say it is what it is, has already decided and already said to you that there are Everyone will be scrutinized. Everyone. Leroy Major knows. From they had this meeting in Bimini, he knows this is it. That was it for him. He knows that. There are many people who got this conversation, who got that tap on the shoulder. There are many people in the PLP right now. Many of them. I tell you, I've identified 10. And right now, you then bring 5 to the front. My God. We're going from 40 to 50%. Really waiting on the next. The PLP is desirous relentlessly to win the next general election. And if you view this as solidarity for union, for Labor Day and them showing up on June 6th, then that's your view. But I only see politics in this. And I see desperate politics in this. And they need to show you numbers when people was naturally going to come out. I tell you that 2 months ago. I had the voice note in my phone when the chairman of the organization said that on June 6th, we would test the strength of our party. That's exactly what this is. They're testing the strength of the PLP. How can we cause people to move? What can we do? What can we do to cause people to move towards these particular things? You remember when you used to have your little Amway meeting? You used to have your little Amway meeting and things like that. You remember the paradigm scheme meetings, and you had to bring in 4 people and this and that. How can I get people to come to my meeting? And you figure out the same thing that the PLP used to do way back in the day. Let me put some sandwich in the back of the room. Yeah, this is the proverbial sandwich. And if the information don't draw you, at least the sandwich can draw you. But my God, we need you in the room. We need you in the room. That's all it is. The PLP needs numbers on the road. And I believe they can get that from loyal supporters. Now, it may have diminished the value of Labor Day and the march thereof, but the truth of the matter is that the union themselves, the PLP didn't have to get involved. The union themselves for years already convoluted this thing. Come on, talk to me. Y'all don't want to talk. The union themselves already, we're marching with this one this year. I ain't gonna march with this one. I don't even understand y'all. Every single year we got to go through these foolishness. We are astonished if you decide to march in solidarity. We are astonished. So you didn't need the union. You didn't need the PLP to be able to add to the fray of the tribulation that exists within unions that exist. So don't try to be able to see that the PLP is diminishing this particular thing. They're not. They are not. They are not. What's happening here is that you recognize that your members, whether or not they're going with their party, who giving them things, or whether or not they come in with you where their loyalty should exist. And that contrast, people should not have to choose that on Labor Day. I understand. But like I said to you, everything in this country is politics. You either put up or shut up. You either comply and then complain. But my God, it's going to happen. It's already done. Let's take a quick commercial break, guys. Be right back after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
The Foundation will be back right after this.
The foundation.
When your hands are too full, life is just too complicated. Nala, Sally, come here. Uncomplicate. Go faster, safer, greener with it. It's as easy as a gentle touch. No more headaches. Say hello to convenience. The future of pay is digital with options like credit cards, debit cards, online banking, and digital wallets. Make every experience unforgettable. Embrace the ease of digital payments today.
Let your taste buds dive into a paradise with Marco's new Tropical Jerk Pizza. Enjoy a succulent grilled chicken pizza topped with tangy pineapples, zesty banana peppers, and our signature jerk sauce. Starting at just $12.95 and available in all sizes. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Make the right choice and order one today at MarcosPizzaBahamas.com. No one makes pizza quite like we do.
It's time to upgrade the home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello. This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fix up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
6.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. Good day, Howard. You are a great Bahamian and one who speaks his mind with understanding and truth. Now, Anton will always defend the PLP and hardly anyone else. He must know by now that him alone will not cause the PLP victory for another term. The Bahamian people and Jehovah God Almighty will decide soon. Watch the tide, its movement. Watch the tide, its movement. This is from my guy in Grand Bahama, Rudy. Rudy, good afternoon, my brother. Hope that you're well. Let's see something. It says, if you didn't know Anton's voice, I would recognize him on your show today. I'm sorry. If I didn't know Anton's voice, I would not recognize him on your show today. Proof that otherwise intelligent, articulate people spew nonsense for the sake of party loyalty. Whatever light he see, may it blind everyone else who need enlightenment. Right? Stuff like that, done. So it says, hey, Howard, your caller Anton is the epitome of a person that is armored with Bahamian politics. Enamored. Is that what you mean? Okay. With Bahamian politics and believes that he, right? No, man, y'all, let's be fair. I think what Anton says was theoretical. That's why he laughed when I said that. Everything that he's saying should exist in theory. It does exist in theory. There's an expectation based upon what governs us from a constitutional standpoint for us to move in a particular direction. However, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. As a result of the years of men being able to shave just a little from the convictions of themselves and just shave a little bit and making modifications to the constitutions and whatnot and twisting and bending the rules to ensure that it could fit their narrative, their position, we've seen what should happen from a theoretical standpoint take on a different view in actual, practical, real time. Yeah. So in real time, you could look at this and based upon our calculation, Leroy Major just knocked himself out the race. You could look at this. And even though what Leroy Major would have said may have had some merit in it, somewhere, he has knocked himself out of the political race. Now, he could stay around like McAlpine if he want to. He could stay around like any of these particular persons that continue to be able to cling to their organization, but as long as the organization has turned its back on you, you're done. You only have an opportunity to be able to forge relationship either from an independent standpoint that persons could see your value or join the opposing team. Well, unless you're IRAM, and then you go to COI. The options for persons who find themselves going contrary to the rhythm, the flow, the direction that their party is going in. That's it. That's there. There isn't much for you after this. We can talk about it as long as you want, till our mouth tired. But you are done. Unless you're Travis Robinson and you come back and you apologize relentlessly. And then they say, we like you. We can give you a little shot. And that's what happened. That's what's happening. Because you didn't say anything after the government of the promise and the prime minister identified you in certain strategic positions and you received a check for that. Whether or not you performed or you didn't perform, that's a conversation for another day. But you took the money, you took the position, you took the prestige, you never agitated and advocated for anything to be able to happen in those areas. For the relentless bush been cutting down and all these things happening in these areas and the death that's been happening in those areas on the backstretch, Halpen Road, for all those things that's been happening, the legacy issues that happened in the back there on where you say Marshall Road, all these things, and Spikenard Road with the rapes and whatnot, where the young girl got raped in the back of the school right there by Anatol, right? All these things that existed, and you gave us the posture of a polished member of parliament with a weeping eye. But now your agitation when it comes to the political preservation of your life is troubled. Like a spirit from God fall on you. My God, King Saul, you need to stop. Now, you won't talk to us now. Yeah, baby, it's too little, too late. You know the constituency then make the decision. The four candidates who are vying for your position in Southern Shores, when they go around campaigning, everybody giving them account of what you haven't done. You think the PLP ain't smart, ain't sharp enough to be able to make a decision? They won't win. Now, either you on board with them or you showing yourself being able to go against the green. And if you do that, you knock yourself out. If the PLP hypothetically wins the next general election, you are out. You don't get no ambassadorial position. You don't get no high commission position. You don't get no position or no boards. You don't get nothing. You don't get nothing. You don't get no position or opportunity to get back in Senate to be able to identify it so you can get a second term so you can actually get your pension. You are out. All these things you got to think about before you open up your mouth. You got to figure these things out. Quick telephone call. Caller, go ahead.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Howard. I hope you feel better.
Take there.
That's good.
I'm gonna let my wife rub my back later.
I was expecting one Leroy Major to get that nomination in the next election in the first place. If he does get, I'd be highly disappointed.
It was a far shot.
From jump.
In the dark. Go ahead.
In reference to the disgusting PLPs all over the parade, this has been happening from the 60s.
Okay.
So, you know, as far as who don't like it, deal with it, okay?
They can be right there.
No pressure. The PLP has been a part of it.
And you can fight them, but you're fighting them for. They can be right there.
And if Obie Ferguson, respectfully, and the others who have an issue with them marching on the parade, they're throwing in the towel and dismantling a part of something that they built. They did not have a problem with the PLP marching right behind them.
After he signed the thing.
Beside them, right in front of them, all around them, playing.
Excuse me. After he then signed the situation, the year after, and it was on the march, he was right there.
So if it's a problem now,
okay, praise
it's
Jesus.
a problem then. So like I said, as far as with the disgusting PLP, the disgusting PLPs has been a part of Labour from all the way back then. My ma in the grave, 2 years Labor Day, she's passed.
Wow.
And she has been a part of. We have all been a part of that Labor Day.
Yeah.
Parade, all workers. So, and PLPs are workers as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, as far as with the disgusting, deal with it. But you take care, Howard.
I appreciate you, baby. Okay. Thank you so much for your telephone call. Let me take this last telephone call. Caller, you got 15 seconds. Go ahead. Hello? I hear now. Hello? We didn't finish. All right, guys, I want to thank you so very kindly for that. And remember, man, in this kind of a space, I just want to be transparent. I just want to be honest. And remember, you think you out here and you working in a tinted vehicle. You out here fish bowling, cousin. We could see you. We could see you. You think you got 5% tint? Sir, we can see you. You're not fish bowling out. You're not tinted out here. And so don't come with this sort of a posture and idea after the fact with this innocent posture that you've done nothing wrong. Oh, woe is me, sir. We have been taking names and identifying what you would have done. And when Judgment Day comes and the gavel is dropped, there is an expectation, and the land will rejoice depending on the verdict and the sentence. So that means if you vindicated, we knew that from the get-go, we celebrate with you. But if you found guilty, so just be transparent, have a very clear conversation, and let's continue to be able to talk about growth and development for this country and